Welcome to the CocoKids Playbook, a podcast by CocoKids. I'm John Jones, Executive Director of CocoKids. Hello and welcome. Today we are meeting with Yolanda Thomas, who is here to talk to us about advocacy and her participation with the Child Care Providers United, which is the union that represents family child care in California. Hi, Yolanda.
Hello, everyone.
All right. So tell me, you're a provider. You have your own large family child care.
Yes.
All right. And how did you get into the field?
I got into the field basically being a parent.
Okay.
And wanting more for my own children. Growing up, I was what was called a latchkey child.
Okay.
And you had this key around your neck, and everybody knew that you got yourself home and you got yourself inside.
I remember those days.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then when you got home, you were just home by yourself. So I wanted to make sure that my children had someone to be at home with. So hubby and I made the decision that I would stay home. And in staying home, I was like, well, how am I going to make some money? And family home child care landed in my lap.
Okay. So you were able to open up your home to other families who needed similar services.
Yes.
Just quickly give us a quick definition of family child care, particularly small family and large family.
Okay. Well, I started out as a small family home child care. And with a small family home child care, you can have up to 8 children. And if you decide to go large or you start large, you can have up to 14 children. So it just depends on what license you apply for.
Okay. And with when you entered the field, you said you had your own children. How many children do you have?
2.
2? And boy, girl?
Boy, girl. They were 3 years apart.
3 years?
So
okay.
One entered kindergarten, one was still at home. And it was my I guess, dream to be a teacher anyways. I was already in the field. I did everything, had associate's degrees in ECE.
Right.
And
Which
ECE.
ECE stands for what?
Right. Okay. Early childhood education.
Okay.
And just being in classes and being an assistant teacher in the classes, in the classrooms, and always being at my son's CDC, which CDC is a child development center.
Okay. All right. So we had this talk earlier about
jargon.
Jargon. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you entered the field, and I'm trying to avoid dating you or aging you, but how long have you had your own family?
I've been a child care provider for 25 years.
Okay. All right. So those two little 3-year-olds are now 27, 28.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you're not alone in that either.
Well, thank you.
So California has just recently moved toward having a collective bargaining agreement with family child care providers. Typically, unions represent not just an industry, but they represent, you see them in companies and stuff, but these family child care, you're an independent business, right? So how does a union represent an independent business? Help us with that connection.
Well, CCPU is made up of 3 unions.
Okay.
UDW, SEIU 99, and SEIU 521.
Okay.
So these 3 unions come together to basically lift up the what word do I want to say?
Almost like the collective voice of
lift up the collective voice of family home child care providers. So once CCPU, they exist to unite child care providers. They amplify our ideas, our desires, and needs. And then CCPU brings together a total of 60,000 family child care providers.
60,000, that's great.
Yes, from the top of the state to the bottom of the state of California.
Okay, so if I'm a family child care provider, how do I qualify to be a member of the union?
So right now, you would have to have a subsidized child.
Okay, and by subsidized, we mean the state is paying for their tuition into, okay.
Yeah, for their care at a family home child care facility. So you would need just one subsidized family, and the union dues come out of that subsidized rate, and that qualifies you for all the benefits that the union has or that members have fought for through the union.
All right, so let's talk about the benefits.
Yes, let's.
We have just completed their first contract, and you just negotiated the second contract. So tell me about the gains that you've been able to make. And I want to emphasize, up to this point, individual family child care providers did not have much of a voice because they were all individually working on their own behalf. But you've been able to make it that you've negotiated as a group with the state of California.
Yes. So I was lucky enough to be a part of this past bargaining session with the state. I'm a member of the bargaining team, and we were able to sustain providers with 2 one-time additional payments.
Okay.
One is called a stabilization payment, and that's per child, and that's based on care that you've enrolled a child that was subsidized from April 2025.
Okay.
So that helps to get our doors open.
And that's hopefully a one-time payment?
That's a one-time payment, and hopefully we'll get that by the first of the year.
Okay.
Everything all hinges on dates and time periods that this current TA gets ratified.
Okay, TA stands for?
Tentative agreement.
Okay, tentative agreement, because this is still being voted on by the membership and the legislature. Okay.
As we speak, it's still being voted on by the membership.
Okay.
Once voting closes for us, and I want to say it's the 20th or 21st, which is real close, then it will be handed over to the state, the legislative, to then vote on it. And then once they vote, it will become ratified.
Okay, so this truly is agreement between child care providers and the state of California.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I didn't mean to interrupt your benefits. So what other benefits are they getting?
So we procured benefits, our healthcare benefits, $100 million a year.
Wow.
And so that's getting reimbursement for healthcare plus dental plus vision and life insurance. Plus now, as an added bonus, you can add your dependents.
Oh, okay.
So before it was just the provider, but now it's the spouse of the provider and their dependents.
And what percentage of providers you think had health insurance prior to the contract?
The count was fairly low.
Okay.
And, I will, we take hits in certain areas, and that's because of our advocacy. Sometimes we don't get to reach all the groups, and that's why we need to be collective as members to help get the word out to all the providers. But what I wanted to say in that area before we really move really quickly was that, it's hard to make sure that each provider knows what's out there. And
So what because I know the union is going to new enrollment licensing meetings and stuff. Mm-hmm. What other methods have you guys used to get the word out so people know they have this opportunity?
So we are doing Bargaining is on my brain.
Okay. That's all right. Yeah.
Bargaining is on my brain. But we are doing what's called benefits orientations.
Right.
We're coming to a city near you. We're trying to make sure that every county and all providers, whether you're members or not, because at these benefits orientations, you can sign up to be a member. You don't have to be a member to come to these benefits orientations.
Okay.
So with the benefits orientations, we are trying to let providers, not members, and members, but at this point, we're trying to get everybody. So we're trying to let them know what's out there, our healthcare reimbursement, our training fund, our vision and dental, our life insurance plans. We even have mental health coverage.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot of benefits that that providers currently don't know, but we want them to understand that in order to get these, just sign up and it's here. Because if we don't sign up providers, we'll lose these benefits. The money will go elsewhere and the state is so ready to take this money. But
Okay. So with the benefits themselves, you have to be a member of the union to access these, correct?
yes.
And even though you said that before, in order to become eligible for membership, you had to have a subsidized child.
family.
But can a provider join in anticipation of, because I know some providers will have one or two kids who are subsidized,
Yes.
and then those kids move on to other. That
So-
doesn't eliminate their eligibility, does it? Or they're able to still maintain their membership themselves?
So I don't think I can truly explain that part, but I do know there is an avenue
Okay.
for a provider that does not have a subsidized child to be a part of the union.
Okay.
It's based on you paying your union dues out of your pocket.
Okay.
But currently what happens is the state provides a list through those providers that have subsidized families. And that's how we know those providers that are eligible to be members and eligible to receive the benefits of that the union has or
Okay.
that the members have fought for.
Okay. Are there any other benefits that you wanted to highlight?
Our retirement fund, $80 million. We receive automatic contributions directly into our retirement account if you're a licensed provider. So there you have to be a licensed provider. This particular benefit does not include our FFNs.
Which stands for?
Family, friends, and neighbors.
Right, okay.
So we're fighting for it still. We have a reopener that's going to start in, I believe, October of this month. And that's one of the items that are at the top of our list because FFNs help stand in the gap for family home child care providers.
Okay.
When a family is not ready for a full-fledged on multiple kids in a setting, but want a family member that has just, another child that is related to that child to come to their family home, then FFNs can step up and provide care for that family.
Okay.
See, family child care is all about choice.
Right.
It's the choice of the parent. And we need to make sure that that part is amplified. It's where the parent feels comfortable, where the child feels comfortable. We don't want anything to be pressed upon the parent or the child.
Yeah. So the best way to highlight that is when your kids get school age, they go to their neighborhood school. But for childcare, you have options. You have choices you can make. And
yes.
And for many families, family childcare is like the ideal option.
Exactly. It's a home away from home.
Okay.
It's a home away from home. You get home cooked meals. You get that love and attention and affection that, you can't get in a room of 28 to 36 kids.
Right.
So it's just that that touch that, every child needs or every child should get.
Okay.
Also, we have $15 million in our training fund. Mm-hmm. And our training fund ranges from a wide a wide array of benefits in itself. So free trainings, workshops, tuition assistance.
Okay.
Also, when I was talking about mental health wellness trainings,
Okay.
and technologies. Some providers have received free laptops, computer workstations, as well as printers, scanners through this, and they've been able to uplift their business, further their education. So that benefit through the training fund really helps the provider all around.
Excellent. Yeah, because they're a business. I don't want to say
Yes.
they're business first, but it's an important part of them being able to maintain the service is operating like a business.
Exactly. And then we have a payment increase by region. So the child subsidy child starting next year, that's the one-time payment I was telling you about the one-time stabilization payment. That one's, it should be by January 2026 if, timing goes right.
Right.
And then a one-time cost of care per child payment. And that is based on the same grounds, having a subsidized child on April 25th.
Okay.
So 2025, April 2025, enrolled. So that payment should be again at the first of the year. But these two are only one-time payments.
Okay.
So that would be a thing. But it helps to stabilize our providers, especially those that are on the cusp of closing their doors or not able to maintain. We want to stabilize our providers. We want to stabilize this field.
Right.
And that's one reason why we need this true cost of care.
Right.
Because it is expensive to open our doors every morning. We want to make sure that these providers that have a love for early childhood education and a love just for the children and making sure that they're helping to lead and guide and touch their future every day. We want to make sure that our providers are able to provide.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned the true cost of care and stabilizing child care. Now, I kind of want to go back to when you were talking about being on that bargaining committee. And when you said it, the song that went through my head was the one from Hamilton, I Want to Be in the Room Where It Happens. Tell me a little bit about that experience, being at the table, advocating for family child care and bargaining. Because I think a lot of people think you just walk in and say, this is what we want, and they go, okay. It doesn't work that way, does it?
No, it wasn't that way at all. I would have to say that through my 25 years of childcare, that period from December of last year to we even went past our contract date. Our contract was up July 1st of this year.
Okay.
But it wasn't until later in July when we finally got a contract.
Okay.
So I would have to say that it was the hardest time of being a child care provider because I was on the ground floor fighting and making sure the state heard and understood why we wanted all these things. The state, I feel, sees us now, but I still don't think they understand.
Okay.
They don't understand everything that it takes to have a family home child care, which was amazing to hear that all of the state representatives had either had their own kids in family home child care or were a result of family home child care themselves. But they didn't hear us.
Right.
They saw us, but they didn't hear us.
Okay. And you feel like that bargaining table was a place you were being heard? Is the field being heard now, or do you think we still have a long way to go?
I think there's still a long way to go, especially when we talk about money. There is a very long way to go. I think the state knows that we're going to organize now.
Okay.
And they know that we have our allies. And they know that we're going to tell our allies the truth to let the state know that, hey, this is how they're treating us. This is what they said. And this is the areas that we need help in. And our allies got our back.
Okay.
Our allies jump on the state quick, fast, in a hurry. And the state is like, okay. We're going to give them a little of what they want because we have a lot of flack on our back now. But
do you feel the message the union is trying to negotiate with the state is really the same message we need to have the general public? Everybody needs to understand the challenges.
It should be a collective message. But with providers organizing, I see that the state knows we're here, like I said, but it's like the pathways for us to be able to work using our decades of experience, the state still tries to stop. Like, let's see if I can give you an example. Maybe the mixed delivery system.
Right. Okay.
Now there's a pathway, but a lot of us can't get to that pathway with the P3 credential.
Which is the preschool
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. No.
Preschool through third grade.
Okay.
Credential. I mean, a lot of us can't go to school during the day. A lot of the online programs are still not open to us for the times that, we can go. And these programs are expensive and it's not a lot of money out there for these grants. But, the child care union helps to pay for some of that with the training benefits. So that could be an avenue for some providers, but there are still a lot of roadblocks that are set up by the state to stop early childhood educators that choose to work in their homes, their family home facilities, from making that next step or being able to go to that next step.
It sounds like collectively we want the field to move ahead. We just want to make sure that the good parts that exist now are part of that change as we improve the entire child care system, our early childhood system. It's not just about child care. It's like child care's place within early childhood.
Exactly.
So let's wrap up with this simple question. It's 10 years out. You've brought all this experience to the table. You've made substantial gains. I actually want to applaud the union for the gains that they made in such a short period of time.
Well, the members,
it shows you the power of I don't want to say of collective bargaining, but it just, when you get people together in a group, they have a tremendous amount of power.
Yes.
And I think this is a great example of people using their power together. It's 10 years out. What changes do you hope are made to the current system?
I see significant advancements in the true cost of care.
Okay.
That rate structure being lifted up, because now, 10 years from now, we understand that there is inflation everywhere, and that not only does individuals have to move with that inflation, businesses have to move with that inflation as well. I see CCPU's role, the child care union's role, will just be as it is, but it will be a little bit greater because we will have collected and increased our membership across the state. So I see this 60,000 being 120,000 and then 180,000 and then 200,000. I just see it growing to represent and protect the economic interest of all child care providers through our collective bargaining rights with the state. Also, in 10 years, I'd love to see us leading again in that 3 to 5-year-old group with the mixed delivery system. I see us leading that mixed delivery system. I remember when Preschool Makes a Difference had first started with First Five, I was part of the pilot program. I loved it. I was like, this is exactly why I started doing what I love doing, to make sure I can reach out and touch and mold and create my future every day. So we need to be included, giving families a diverse range of choices. I see a reform in the payment system, just like I stated before, the rate structure. I see the workforce supported, creating pathways to improve quality and retention. I don't think that right now our field is glamorized because of the rate of pay. I mean, it's who wants to get $8 an hour per child? $7 to $8, and maybe less in some counties.
Oh, it's not who wants, it's who can afford to do that.
Yes.
The cost of living is so high.
Right. So it's not glamorized. I mean, the one thing that you receive from this field can't pay bills.
Yeah, so it's not glamorous, but it is rewarding.
Yes. But you can't take that rewarding feeling to the bank and say, I'd like to pay my mortgage this month with this.
Like, you're paying with what?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I have a lot of that gratitude. That account is full, but the cash account is low.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll work forward to getting that cash account filled. And I'm guessing you're not going anywhere, that you love this work so much that you plan to keep your side open, and
Yes.
hopefully you'll be at the bargaining table again.
Yes.
And I challenge you to get that song out of your head. You'll be sitting in the room where it happens. All right. Well, thank you, Yolanda, for coming in today. I appreciate you and all the work that you've done.
Thank you.
And I wish you the most success. And I do look forward to this connection you have with CocoKids continuing.
Yes, it will. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for me being able to highlight the work that I do on behalf of all the providers for the whole state of California. Thank you.
Well, they're in good hands. Okay. This podcast was brought to you by CocoKids. Thank you to Letty Cuizan, executive producer, and Faith Donathan, line producer.